What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're going to keep on with the most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. I'm just going to throw it out there. I am a paranormal investigator with no experience whatsoever of camping, but due to that, I have seen that you guys actually like that disturbing camping encounter video that I put up. I'm just gonna keep on going. I'll probably do a whole series on disturbing camping encounters. But today we are going to check out Cursed Notes. I hope I got his name right. If anything, this content creator's information will be in the description section. So without any further ado, let's see what what chilling encounter exploring Vikings tomb. Dude, I am a huge freaking fan of Vikings. I honestly think in my past life I was a Viking because I just love their culture, everything about it. But let's go.
In March of 2025, a YouTuber named Rob uploaded a chilling video titled Vikings Tomb Camping Gone Wrong to his channel Rob Call Nature. His channel is dedicated to outdoor exploration, where he documents footage of himself camping in often remote and harsh conditions across Europe. In this particular video, Rob decided to go on a solo overnight camping trip to a forest in Finland known as the Vikings Tomb. According to Rob, he had recently discovered the location while randomly searching through Google Maps. During his research, he found that the tomb was located in an extremely remote part of the forest, and that it only had one photo available online. Rob, being an experienced camper, decided to be among the first to document an overnight stay at the Vikings tomb. As Rob began his exploration and made his way to the tomb, he parked his car and began walking. During this time, he started explaining to his viewers about how he'd found the location and why he was going there. However, just moments later, as he was talking to his viewers, that's when things started to take a very bizarre turn for Rob.
Only one picture taken from that Viking tomb, so I thought that place we have to visit. I just parked my car on the closest road to this place. That's weird. Why would they do that? That really bothered me. Why would they take pictures of my car? When I unpacked my car, there drove a car by. They slowed down pretty much when they saw me. And just now, before I left the road into the woods, they made another round and took a picture of my license plate. Maybe it was the landowner. Maybe they thought I was a poacher. This could be private property, but as long as you behave and respect the forest, there shouldn't be any issues.
I am all for that. Unfortunately, when I do my exploration investigation, to abandoned locations, unfortunately, yeah. Um, if I see that there's a way in without breaking and entering, my curiosity will get the best of me, and I would go inside. But my exploration is by far just being, just going to these abandoned locations and just enjoying the view and everything. But the reason why property owners are so, with every right, so harsh is because we got mofos out there, causing destruction, breaking things, graffiti, you name it. And, that's the reason why it is illegal to enter certain properties that's abandoned because of these assholes. So, yeah, my friend, spread the word. Respect the property and you will be respected.
As soon as Rob stepped out of his car and was walking towards the tomb, he suddenly noticed someone taking pictures of his car. Rob immediately walked towards the individual and called out, but he unfortunately didn't receive any response. Disturbingly, Rob also mentioned that the individual had driven past him and slowed down when he initially parked his car. The same person had then returned and was taking pictures of his license plate. This detail was particularly alarming, given that Rob was in the middle of nowhere. The fact that the individual had somehow found him suggested they might be trying to stalk him or even rob him. However, Rob didn't dwell on this detail and eventually dismissed the individual as a property owner or simply a harmless visitor. Rob then resumed his exploration and began making his way towards the tomb. Unfortunately for Rob, he got lost trying to locate the site and kept walking in a loop for several minutes.
I'm not even close, so I have to cross another small valley. I found a trail and I'm walking in circles. I found the lake. Oh my god, a deer. There it went. I've got the lake on my right side. So if I follow the lake to the south, that should take me straight for the Viking tomb. I think I can see the hill that it's on. Here is where the deer came. One of them saw me. They sprinted away towards the lake. The south shorelines of Finland, they're really lush with white-tailed deer.
After Rob got lost trying to locate the tomb, he eventually found the lake and decided to follow its path, hoping that the trail would finally lead him to the site. He continued walking on the trail, and fortunately he didn't hear or see any signs that indicated that the individual he'd seen earlier was following him. All he saw during this time was a deer running away from him. For the next several minutes, he continued walking on the trail and eventually stumbled upon the Viking's tomb.
Well, I think I can see it.
Yo, do you guys imagine? Could you just picture where he's at right now if this is indeed a Viking's tomb? Because not for nothing, when they were filming the Vikings, you know, that amazing, incredible show of Ragnar and, you know, Lagertha, you know, Ivar, Bjorn Ironside. Yeah, man. Yo, I'm a huge Vikings fan. But there's actually a road called Bjorn. I There's actually a road leading to where it is supposedly said that Bjorn Ironside was buried. Because in the television show, you know, they made this whole tomb, you know, within the ground. It's like a mini mountain. You know, they dug it out. It's like a little, you know, they basically made like a little cave within a hill, and they just, you know, for, you know, just respecting Bjorn Ironside. And apparently that is still up, except, you know, obviously with many moons that pass by, it's just, you know, it looks like a hill. So, but could you imagine, dude? I mean, it's one of the reasons why I like to go out in the field into these abandoned places. Is that's because of their history and just being within the history, just in case it's like lightning and raining outside right now. So it's just adding a little bit more sniz to these videos. I'm gonna try and record as much as I can tonight, but but yeah, man, just the history is amazing, dude. And just imagine being there, a potential Viking site. Unfortunately, have I always said in multiple of my videos, I am more afraid of the living than the dead, because the living could actually cause issues to many exits.
Cool.
Dude, that's a pile of rocks that put it all on top of one another. Wow, dude. That's
Well, it's plundered, all right.
Man, he's gonna go right in it.
Well, no trophies for me.
That's a trophy on its own, my friend. You
I
being
wonder how many hundreds of years ago they plundered this place. They could have left a sword for me, or two. Imagine hauling all this rock to this place. And these are some big boulders.
After locating the Viking's tomb, Rob was absolutely fascinated by what he was looking at. Stone formations arranged in a circle, surrounded by dense forest and the lake. Rob was truly glad that he had traveled there. He later mentioned that Vikings might have sailed to this place as part of their trading route or battle. Given that the forest was close to both the Gulf of Finland and the Baltic Sea, intrigued by everything he discovered, Rob decided to set up his hammock camp right next to the site and take some rest.
I did this exact setup last week when I did some island.
Dude, I'm sorry, but that's not high enough for me to be safe. I mean, regardless of how many deers they are. I mean, where there's deer, there's probably a predator close by also, and you're too low for my comfort level, bro. I'm sorry.
Island hopping in the Finnish archipelago, and it worked really good. But the temperatures then was about 0 degrees at night, but tonight it's gonna go down to about -4 degrees Celsius. So for the back I've got the foam pad, and to cover the roof an old wool blanket. What a nice view.
Beautiful.
I've got my movie theater ready, and then I've got the thermometer outside and inside. Outside we've got -0.5 and inside 3.6 degrees Celsius.
My God, I did not shiver because of how cold it is there. I am shivering that, dude, like, man, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think a piece of tiny, thin cloth, uh, this kind of, moquitero or whatever sheer thing that's no protection from nothing. Jesus. A branch could fall on you, depending on how it falls. You're basically, you know, animals, the living. You already had a crazy encounter. Well, not crazy. I'm gonna say not crazy, but that all that is just warning. Wow, it's really thundering out here. Anyway,
It's not every day you get to movie night hammock camp by a Viking tomb.
hell
After a
yeah,
long day
dude.
of travel, Rob decided to settle into his hammock. During this time, he noted that the temperature outside was -5 degrees Celsius, while the temperature inside was around 3 degrees, which is just above freezing. However, Rob believed he was prepared for the harsh weather, as he was wearing suitable clothing, had placed a foam pad under him, and had a wool blanket over the hammock. For the next several hours, everything seemed to be going pretty smoothly for Rob. He enjoyed his dinner and even managed to watch a movie on his phone. However, as night began to set in and temperatures started to drop, at around midnight the harsh weather conditions began to affect Rob. Despite his warm clothing and layers of foam pads, he started to shiver vigorously, though not to the point of hypothermia, yet not safe enough to spend the night. Rob then decided the best and safest course of action was to leave his camp and return to his car. However, the real challenge for Rob now was to avoid getting lost again and safely navigate his way back to his car before the weather affected him further.
The wind is really cooling down this shelter, even though I'm all tucked in. I just can't seem to get warm, so I'm just laying here shivering. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Am I hypothermic? No, but it's really uncomfortably cold. One last glimpse of the Viking tomb. Now that I'm all packed up and ready to go, I can tell you this much. I've had chills going up my spine all evening. And I also have that feeling I have to get out of here It's almost midnight. We've got a full moon. I know which way is east. I have to keep an easterly direction.
Yo, this video has so many commercials, you guys. Like, that's why it just cuts. My God, dude. He is freezing. The reason why he's leaving his camp is because he's freezing. And now he's gonna troop it back to his vehicle. Shit, that's a freaking crazy ass predicament right there.
And I should hit the road. The most crucial thing now is not to panic, because it's dark and cold. I'm only using the moon as my compass, and I know that the road is towards the moon. Slowly but surely I'm making my way to the road. Oh yeah, success. But we're not home yet. I know about where I am. I've still got some hiking to do.
Let's just hope your car is still there, my guy. Holy shit.
After deciding to return to his car, Rob followed the moonlight to navigate his way towards it. For any other campers or explorers, navigating through the darkness in such freezing temperatures would be considered dangerous and extremely risky. But for Rob, being an experienced camper, the journey back to his car would still be difficult. But it was the only option he had, as staying in his hammock in such harsh conditions wouldn't be safe. For the next several minutes, Rob kept walking back to his car, and fortunately he didn't get lost this time. He eventually saw his car in the distance and was truly grateful that he had made it back safely. However, as soon as he approached his car, that's when he stumbled upon something truly disturbing.
Well, I found her. My princess in shiny armor. Well, someone has been interested in my car. I knew there was something off. These are not my footprints.
Yo, kudos to him for wanting to keep on recording for us.
The left one is mine, and the right one is the visitor in the night. When we headed out, someone took a picture of my car. Well, maybe they're as curious as I am. Well, that's the... let's just get out of here. Oh my, what a trip. That was quite the experience. I've never had anyone stalking me before. It wasn't stalking, but when I parked my car, I never walked on the passenger side. That side was full of prints. Those were not my footprints. Someone was clearly very interested. Why was I there, or why was my car parked there?
I don't know, you guys. I mean, not because of the video, but there was a huge lightning strike right now, and it kind of messed with my computer for a quick minute. I just want to timestamp it just in case if the recording it shows up that it just goes blank. But I'm still recording. All right, let's keep on going.
As soon as Rob reached his car, he was startled to discover fresh footprints walking around it. He also mentioned that he hadn't walked by the passenger side of the car when he initially parked it. This detail confirmed that the individual taking pictures of Rob's car must have returned at some point during the night and for some reason had been walking around it, potentially intending to steal the contents inside the car or even the car itself. After yet another bizarre discovery, Rob lost interest in investigating further and ultimately decided to leave the forest and go back home. It remains unclear who the individual was or why they were taking pictures, along with a mystery behind whether the individual meant any harm. However, based on everything Rob witnessed that night, it seems very unlikely that the individual was there to harm or rob him, especially since Rob's car was completely untouched despite him leaving it in the middle of nowhere for hours. It's more plausible that the individual could have been a ranger or simply the landowner, who was merely there to check on Rob out of pure curiosity about why someone was in such a remote part of the forest so late at night. But
Yeah.
regardless of the individual's identity or motive, it's still a good thing that Rob chose to end his exploration before the situation or the weather got any worse, and he managed to escape the potentially life-threatening situation without any harm.
All
I
right.
think that that person was more worried than I. Well, what did we learn from this experience? Don't go Viking tomb camping, at least not by yourself.
If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video.
For sure, you guys, we as content creators, we have a lot of fun doing this stuff. Like, we enjoy doing this. I love recording and content and just watching so many different things. I mean, yeah, me as a paranormal investigator, I watch a lot of paranormal stuff. I react to paranormal caught on tape and, all of it. But, there's just so much, man. It is so sad to see these young kids stuck on their phones watching freaking whatever cr- dumb thing they're watching and they're not experiencing life, man. It's like there's so much. And man, there's Jesus. I didn't know I was gonna get into the camping. There's unfortunately it is disturbing camping videos. It's not nothing. But dude, man, we just watched somebody go to a Vikings tomb, bruh. Oh shoot, man. If you guys only could take a little glimpse into my head and know how and just see how cool this is. But yeah, man. Hey, camping in Costa Rica gone wrong for sure, bro. I mean, I personally don't do camping. Not that I won't try it. I just feel like it's just God freaking hazardous, bro. But if it's damn dangerous to do it here in the States, internationally camping, oh, I mean, do you guys know there's actual cannibals still living in certain parts of the world? There's still parts of the world that hasn't been touched by civilization, bro. Think about that.
In December 2024, a content creator named Avery uploaded a chilling video to her TikTok page, Avery Solo Travels. Her channel primarily documents her everyday lifestyle as she travels to various locations around the world. Her videos often showcase the beauty of nature, review of local foods, and simply share her experiences as a solo traveler. In this particular video, Avery decided to travel to Costa Rica. The first few videos she uploaded during her trip were fairly typical, documenting her daily life in the country, trying the local cuisine, and capturing the beauty of Costa Rica. However, one specific video she uploaded during her trip was far from ordinary. In the video, Avery was staying in an Airbnb in a remote part of Costa Rica. After a long day of traveling, Avery returned to her Airbnb and decided to get some sleep. However, when she woke up and went outside to get some fresh air, that's when she encountered something truly disturbing.
Oh shoot.
Yo, I just woke up. Listen. Listen to this. What the fuck is that noise? Sounds like
I'll tell you that what that is. That's Cloverfield a couple of miles away, bro. Like that's a freaking yo. You guys know what I'm talking about? Cloverfield, the movie. That's that big ass monster just freaking roaring. Dude.
like the chupacabra.
And a chupacabra, girl, no chupacabra don't sound like that. I've never heard a chupacabra sound. That sounds like a freaking dinosaur a couple of miles away. That's no chupacabra. Chupacabra, yo, I don't even think a chupacabra makes a noise. But if it did, it's not gonna sound like that. That sounds monstrous. Oh,
Or Bigfoot. Like he's angry.
I could actually say it is not a Bigfoot sound. Because on the Shadowfile podcast, you guys remember, Strangers Minds is my creation, is my baby. I do a lot of content through there. I'm all over the place, but I'm also part of a podcast called the Shadow Files, and with my boys out there in Australia. Shout out to Gary and Jeremy. You know, hit up the podcast. It's on YouTube. You guys would love it. But we actually have guests going on the podcast, and we have shout out to Ray Doherty. He is a Yowie expert. A Yowie is Australian Bigfoot, and you know what? I would love to send this clip to him. I would love to send this clip to him just to see if he could, because he's an expert, guys. Like, he goes out in the field, in the wilderness. He has told us stories. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let the video. You guys find it. The Shadow Files podcast. Ray Doherty. Look for that podcast. I believe we have him. He's gone on the show twice. He's a famous Yowie expert out in Australia. We interviewed him. He's a good friend of ours, and he's just an amazing dude with amazing stories, guys.
Do monkeys in Costa Rica wake the whole town up with these noises?
I'm not an expert, but that sounded like a freaking Leviathan, bro. That sounded like, yo, what's that monster from the, oh man, what was that movie? Jeez, it's one of the coolest movies when the Leviathan comes out of the water, and dude, in with when the surround sound is on, and it's just like, even like the movie itself, it goes completely quiet, and it just screams. I mean, it's probably not that, like, I'm over exaggerating, but I'm excited, bro. This shit sounds crazy.
What the is that? This is the most terrifying sound I've ever heard.
As soon as Avery woke up, she suddenly heard a loud growling noise echoing through the forest. By this point, Avery had absolutely no idea what animal or creature could be making those noises. The noises continued for the next several minutes, and Avery listened intently, trying to determine their source. But again, given that she had never heard those types of noises, she couldn't identify or make sense of their source. Avery then got out of her bed and eventually went towards the noise to investigate their source.
What the is this noise?
Girl, I know I did not hear that right. Girl, I know I didn't hear that right. You went to investigate what that sound was? I'm sorry, but you look Latina, girl. Or I'm sorry. I one of I just want to throw it out there that is like so freaking cringe, but one of my best friends, I have three best friends. I'm Dominican, I'm Latino. One of my best friends, Fuma, he's part of the Strangers Minds exploration group, Puerto Rican. Mr. Lou, Black. D, my boy D. I've I haven't come across a more redneck person in my life. But man, that's a white people thing, right? Like, exploring dangerous things. I'm saying, like, we wouldn't have a horror genre of movies, television shows, nothing, if it wasn't for God bless the white people for showing us where not to go. you know, but you're Latina, girl. What are you doing out there investigating a crazy a Leviathan like that?
Listen. That is not an angry dog. What the is that?
Yeah, she Latina. She Latina. You think that was a dog? Yeah, yeah. We think like that. We think like within a spectrum, like roar. All right, that must have been a cat or a dog, a bird. It must have been a fish. Yo, nah, girl. I mean, not for nothing. I've seen Congo. There's a good possibility that could be like a giant freaking, not King Kong, but that could have been like a freaking ape of sorts. Anybody who watches this in the description section, what does that sound? Please. I said description. In the comment section, please.
It's been making that angry noise for an hour now. And it just gets closer and closer. What the f***? It's like Godzilla is here. What is that? The Chupacabra? I've got no sleep tonight. And I almost fell asleep. And then I started hearing that noise. And it's like right across the street. I'm so glad her place is fenced in, but what the f*** is that?
My first thing to do would be there's got to be some sort of supervision for these Airbnbs, right? Like I would ask questions. I would go to my neighbor, be like, "Sorry, you guys. I know you guys are getting busy, but how could you do that and hear this at the same time?" Yeah, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm being stupid. But I will ask questions. Yo, is this normal? Like, what is this? I would ask, have you experienced this before, and what is it? Just to ease my mind and not let it wander. This chick said Godzilla. God damn. I mean, hey, I'm saying Leviathan. Same damn thing almost.
After Avery went outside to investigate the noise, she quickly realized that the sounds were echoing from a nearby location and were in fact getting closer to where she was staying. For the next few minutes, she tried her best to rationalize the sounds, but again she couldn't comprehend what animal could have produced such a loud growling noise. By this point, Avery was consumed with fear and anxiety over everything she had been witnessing that day, but she didn't leave or go back inside. Instead, she composed herself and remained outside her tent, determined to understand the source of the noises. However, as she was attempting to comprehend their source, she heard the noises again, but this time they were louder and closer.
Yo, this noise is literally getting closer, as if it's like right outside the gate. Is that an angry gorilla? It's coming from right over there. That's the way you gotta walk to the beach. And I was gonna take a nice walk over there this morning to the beach. I'm not going over there now. Because what the fuck is that? It's fucking terrifying. Whatever can make that noise can probably rip my fucking face off.
For sure.
But it's been making that noise. Oh my god. What is that?
After hearing the growling noise getting louder and closer, Avery decided not to investigate the sounds further and eventually chose to go inside. Disturbingly, at
Stay
one
Latina,
point, the
girl.
loud
Stay
growling
Latina.
noises even woke up and startled the other animals in the jungle. By this point, Avery had
I'm just
absolutely
assuming she's
no
Latina.
idea if the noises were merely caused by a dog or some other animal, or if it was something far more.
Boy, stop that. That ain't no dog. That ain't no dog. Let's get this straight. That is not a dog. But girl, stay in your lane. I appreciate that you're showing us your content is about traveling the world. Man, I would love to do that. Traveling the world, tasting different foods, getting to know other cultures, and just that's life. That's living life. I would love to hopefully be blessed one day to do what you do. But man, girl, stop that. That ain't no dog. There's no need for you to investigate. Nah, nah, leave that for the imaginary, leave that for your imagination and just go back to your TP or whatever those little pyramids look like. Um And just try and rest your shut eyes, bro.
More sinister. Fortunately for Avery, she wisely chose to return to her tent before the situation escalated. It remains a mystery what the true source of the noises were, but throughout her investigation, Avery did suspect that the noise could have been caused by Bigfoot or a chupacabra, but it's very unlikely that she actually encountered either of these creatures that day. Another theory she considered was that a gorilla might have caused the sounds. But again, this theory might not be plausible, especially since gorillas are not found in Costa Rica and are native to parts of Africa. The only other logical explanation that comes to mind is that the noise might have been produced by howler monkeys, which do exist in Costa Rica.
That's it. Debunked. No Leviathan, guys. No Leviathan. That's just a group of these monkeys wilding out. Jesus Christ, dude. But could you imagine going to a place like that and not knowing about this? Yo, research before you go anywhere, you guys. I have a pending trip to go to Savannah, Georgia, and I already know that place without ever being there. So, yeah, research before going anywhere, guys. Assholes. That's it.
Is that an angry fucking gorilla? But it's been making that noise.
They didn't believe that one.
Oh my god.
If the noises were caused by a howler monkey, then this encounter becomes even more alarming. Although howler monkeys are not typically known to be aggressive toward humans, it's important to note that they are still wild animals, and their behavior can be very unpredictable. If Avery had continued to investigate the noises and approached them too closely or provoked them, their instincts could kick in if they feel cornered or threatened, and they might react in an aggressive manner. But fortunately for Avery, she wisely chose not to investigate the noises further, and she managed to escape the potentially dangerous situation without being harmed or injured. In July of 2011, a rather terrifying video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Sean SW. The footage captures a man hiking through a trail in eastern British Columbia. The footage at first glance doesn't seem unusual, as it just documents the uploader jogging through the forest, seemingly trying to enjoy nature.
Just in case you guys, this one is called Shocking Encounter in the Woods, Colombia.
And get some physical activity. The uploader even runs into fellow hikers, but there is little to no interaction between them. The individual is fully focused on his run. The first half of the video is anything but normal, merely showcasing the man running at an alarming pace. However, as the video progresses, the man reaches a remote part of the forest, and that's when his camera captures something extremely disturbing.
See it? Oh,
Coming up on your left. Thanks.
be nice, courteous. That's what I'm talking about.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I saw what that was, right? That was a bear, dude. That was a big ass bear too. Nah, yo.
What? Oh, that was fun.
To the uploader's absolute shock, a grizzly bear suddenly appeared appeared out of nowhere and began chasing him. Terrified for his life, the man immediately started running, all while the bear was behind him. For the next several minutes, driven by pure survival instinct, the man continued to run towards safety, occasionally glancing back to check if the bear was still chasing him. But the video abruptly ends before the uploader provided any further information about whether he was injured or even attacked. However, considering the fact that the man managed to outrun the bear for nearly 2 minutes, it's more likely that the bear did initially try to chase him, but at some point left him alone, as bears can run significantly faster than humans, and it is nearly impossible for an average human or even a professional runner to outrun a bear if it is actively trying to chase them down. And based on the footage, it does seem like the bear stopped following the man at some point, as it wasn't behind him when he looked back. Nevertheless, the uploader was extremely fortunate that day that the bear did not pursue him further, and he managed to escape the potentially life-threatening encounter without sustaining any major injuries.
Hey, you guys, all I'm saying is that, I have my reasons to be, you know, careful, paranoid, doing certain things out there in the wilderness because, there's just so many aspects of danger coming at you when you put yourself in certain situations. And, you have the living, you have wildlife, you have, let's just say you are out there trying to, like, again, shout out to my boy Gary. Last weekend, I believe, last weekend, we're in June 2025, sometime last week. They had an excursion. They went out um, hunting yowies, but they went out and had a good time. They had a tent. It was a group of them. It wasn't just one person. They were doing their thing. But you even have supernatural, cryptoids, yowies, Bigfoots, whatever, as a danger also. So it's like, I am the way I am, but I'm alive. I'm here. Yeah. But guys, please, this is geez, I follow so many content creators and I do reactions to so many content creators. But I want to say it's notes, cursing notes, regardless of his name that I'm saying. I'm gonna put his um, information in the description section. Please like, share, follow. Same thing for my channel. If you guys want to support, if you like this content, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.